Watch this too, guys. Your second-round draft choice was not a mistake. The big debate in Philly is how he overreached for him. I don't think he did. I think Jalen was drafted exactly where he should have been. A second-round draft choice. How is the Big Sills Army doing? We welcome everybody aboard here. See, this is one of the very few shows where that the only person that gets hollered at is yours truly. Oh, and maybe my boy Xander. Okay, because you know why? We welcome everybody's conversation in here. That's what our show is all about, man. It's about building the Big Sills Army. I so enjoy talking to you guys. It really is one of the highlights of my day. What I mean, those guys, the people that join our show each and every single day. If you'd like to bring some content to the program, we so welcome it. It's absolutely going to be another Power Pack day because of you guys joining the program, and we thank you again. Again, I want to make sure if you're new to the program, okay? Guys like Ewing and Muhammad and Kevin and Jermaine, these are part of the Big Sills Army already that we're building here on the JAKIB Media channel here, the National Football Show. You guys join us each and every single day, and we so appreciate it. There's my boy Trev, and you guys add to the program. We've got content. You've got content. You know, it's like somebody walking into a pizza place on Broad Street. If you walk into a pizza place and you see Big Sills there, okay, I'm not going to serve you Chinese food. You want a pizza from Big Sills. How you doing? That's what we do here, man. We give you what you want to hear. Not what the host wants you to hear. That's not what this is about here. So enough of that, okay? Enough preaching here. We don't do the preaching part here on the National Football Show. So before we get going here, too, right on, man. In Stamford, Connecticut. That's Big Sills' place, man. That's where I was born. All right, before we start taking your calls, Dave, thank you so much for coming aboard. I'll get to all you guys in a minute. May I ask you guys a question on Jalen Hurts? And let's put Carson Wentz into this conversation. Do you think it was the right decision to move off of Carson Wentz? Was it the right move? We still have a lot of football to play, right? Got 7 games left. It's a lot of football. There's a lot of football to be evaluated this year. Was it the right decision? Let me give you some numbers. This is through 14 NFL starts. Jalen Hurts versus Carson Wentz. Follow me here. Jalen Hurts, 3,078 yards in 14 NFL starts. Wentz, 3,385. Not much of a difference. Rushing yards, 819 rushing yards in 14 starts for Wentz versus 110 for Carson Wentz. 26 total touchdowns for Jalen Hurts. 15 for Carson Wentz. Interceptions. Jalen Hurts, 8. Carson Wentz, 13. Fumbles. Jalen Hurts, 12. Carson Wentz, 14. QBR. Jalen Hurts, 87.3. Carson Wentz, 78.5. Records, both, you're probably shocked when I tell you, both are 5-9. Both quarterbacks, if you look at it, are pretty compatible after 14 starts. And yet we were always under the impression that there was a higher ceiling for Carson Wentz because he was drafted in the first round, right? I'm looking at this objectively here. I mean, the passing yards are almost the same. Obviously, the rushing yards, Jalen's way past him, 700 yards past him. He's got less fumbles, more touchdowns. He's got a higher quarterback rating, and the record's 5-9. But this difference here, through his first 14 games, the Eagles were ascending talent-wise on that roster to be a Super Bowl team. Jalen Hurts' roster is going back up again. Kent says, Dano, those headphones look wacky. All right, man. Looks like a chin strap. All right, there we go. Now I look like an egghead. Great, thanks. Kent, let me deal with the fashion, all right? Let Big Seals deal with the fashion. How you doing? All right. Think about this, guys. Jalen Hurts, 3,078 passing yards. Wentz, 3,385. Wentz has a higher quarterback rating. Hurts has a higher quarterback rating. Wentz has a lower total when it comes to rushing yards. He's got more turnovers and the same record. Yeah. So I ask you again, was it the right decision to move off of Wentz? I'm going to tell you it was. And here's the plain and simple reason. I could no longer rely on him to stay healthy. I could no longer rely on him if situations were to pop up. Maybe it's a new coordinator. Maybe we have a new head football coach. Look at how Justin Herbert has handled that. Jalen Hurts is the perfect candidate for the Eagle job because of what his mother said on our channel. Jalen's had 5 different offensive systems in 6 years. He's prone to understand change, verbiage, language, cadence, audibles, different formations. He has been schooled and he has been coached to be exactly what he's doing. Carson Wentz is still struggling, and we see it mightily sometimes, right? When he gets into a new system, hey, he'll play great consistently, and then all of a sudden he'll have the worst 8 minutes in pro football history. Jalen doesn't have those lows like that. He doesn't have those gigantic pitfalls that Wentz has. So if you could protect the ball and Nick Sirianni could keep coaching him on not putting the ball on the carpet, and we start to see him win more games conventionally instead of unconventionally, because that's the issue with Eagle fans. And I think that's still the issue with the front office. He's starting to get better unconventionally. And it's hard to evaluate that. It's hard to evaluate that. Alexander is dead on. And a draft pick hurts his feelings. That's right. All of those intangibles. Jalen Hurts was pulled for Tua Tagovailoa at Alabama. That schooled him for that moment. When they got rid of Wentz, he went to Alabama or he went to Oklahoma. He picked that system up and led him to a Final Four. Jalen Hurts, not only talent-wise, but coaching-wise, he's been coached for this moment. He's been coached for what he's doing. That's why we're seeing him get better. He's been through the wars of inconsistent people around him. Do you agree? Carson Wentz is too inconsistent of a quarterback to keep his job. I think he's going to struggle to keep his job in Indianapolis. So I ask you again, Was it the right decision to move off of Carson Wentz? Smile, every Eagle win that Jalen won in the NFL was a defensive victory. Jalen did not win a game where he had to ball out. Okay? William, Wentz got benched in the Green Bay game, and he got all butthurt. Ewing, Wentz actually tried that left-handed pass again. I'm like, wow, again, too, Ewing. Those are some of the worst 8 minutes of football I've ever seen. East Camden says, yes, it was time to move off of Wentz. So does Wildebeest. Kevin says, Wentz was too used to being the star in college. Something to be said about that. You're at North Dakota State, you're at a small program. And by the way, when you're at a small program like that and you're Carson Wentz, you are the star in the room. When you go to Alabama, you're amongst stars. And you know what? That leads me to this too. I get asked this question all the time. Sills, would you want to play at Alabama today? Or would you want to play somewhere where you could play 4 years? You know what my answer always is? Well, if I can't start at Alabama, I can't start in the NFL. And I want to stand out in the crowd. And I want to stand in that crowd. You imagine if you stood in an Alabama crowd, out in an Alabama crowd instead of a Temple crowd. Okay? That's like standing out, right, at a circus. Got a little short people over here, and you're like, great. No, I don't care about that. I want to stand out in a gigantic place like Alabama. AT says he's from North Carolina. He couldn't handle the big city influence. Could be some to that. I think sometimes, though, AT, maybe a guy like that, in my opinion, maybe he's just unaware of the surroundings around him, and he doesn't know how big a city Philadelphia is and what kind of sports fans that are in it. You know what I mean? Alexander says, let's face it, Wentz was broken. Trevor says, Bama, Clemson, Ohio State. You got to stand out. Absolutely. Nick Foles, I got you. Hurts is way more reliable and durable than Wentz. Kay, you're dead on, man. Okay? Yes. That's what I'm saying here. Look at these numbers that I'm talking to you about. 33,000 passing yards. He's got him by 200 passing yards after 14 starts. Jalen's got Wentz by 700 rushing yards. He's got 11 more touchdowns than Wentz after 14 NFL starts. It's pretty significant. He's got 5 less interceptions, 2 less fumbles, higher QBR. And again, the difference in the teams were night and day. The Eagles were getting better, right? The Eagles' defense and offensive lines were being considered the best units in the sport. Right now, we're kind of seeing a little age, injuries, inconsistency in both units. And Jalen's playing behind that. My point is, let me put Jalen Hurts on that 2017 Eagles team. Does he do the same thing Foles does? I don't know. Maybe. It's pretty impressive. The Eagle teams were completely different for both of these men. Lucio says, Wentz more talented. Hurts a better football player. Xander, put that up. Put that up, that Lucio. There you go. Put that up. Guys, that is the number one thing that you do when you evaluate quarterbacks. Let me make that point right there to you. Who's a more talented athlete, Michael Vick or Tom Brady? Who's the more talented athlete? It's Vick in spades. You're not even debating that. Who's a better football player? Who's a better quarterback? You're not even think about how much that conversation changes when I change the words. Who's a better athlete? Who's the better football athlete? Vic, it's incredible. It's not close. It's not even a debate. Well, who's the better quarterback and better football player? That's not a debate. How can it be that much of a gap between those two conversations? Who's the best football athlete, Vic or Brady? Not a conversation. I wouldn't even continue it. Brady can't jump over a ruler. Okay? He can't jump over a ruler. But who's the best player and the best quarterback? Tom Brady. And it's not close. Wow. Just with a couple word changes, you change that entire dynamic. This is why I was down. And a lot of guys on our channel, they love to pick a Justin Fields in Chicago, okay? Because you know what they started with? Here's what they started with the conversation with me. Well, he ran a 4.4 at the combines, and he's a hell of an athlete. Those two things have nothing to do with quarterbacking, and Tom Brady proves the point to you. Tom Brady proves that point. I don't care if Justin Fields runs a 4.4. That's great if he's a wideout or a running back or a corner. If you're a quarterback, my quarterback running 4.4 it doesn't matter. It's not part of what I'm looking for. Now, if you're looking for an RPO quarterback and you're trying to build an offense at Baltimore like you are with Lamar Jackson, that matters. I get it. But how many Lamar Jacksons are there? What they're doing in Philadelphia is kind of what they're trying to do in Baltimore. They're trying to figure out plays, sequences, offensive groupings. They're trying to figure out how they can build this offense around Jalen Hurts and win an NFC East. The big debate is not whether or not they should have moved off of Wentz. It's if they can move forward and compete against Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys with this style of offense. I proved to you after 14 games, Jalen Hurts has better numbers than Carson Wentz, and Wentz was on a better team. You should be feeling better about yourself about a guy. Watch this too, guys. Your second-round draft choice was not a mistake. The big debate in Philly is how he overreached for him. I don't think he did. I don't think he did. I think Jalen was drafted exactly where he should have been. A second-round draft choice. What's his name says that the 2016 team, Jermaine says, wasn't good. But they were moving up, Jermaine. My point is, I understand where you're coming from, okay? I understand that. But you were starting to put building blocks on that team. You were starting to see the coaching, the elevating of players around, getting better. The record may not have dictated, but the team was getting better. You saw the team. I saw the team getting better. East Camden says second-round pick is perfect. Get this, East Camden. Would we not agreed that at the beginning of this year, if we would have said Jalen Hurts, was he drafted at the right spot in the second round, would we all have said this? No way. It was a waste pick by Howie. Now we're doing this. He's trending in a great place. The team's getting better. After 14 games, he's outperformed Carson Wentz. And get this, not a professional coach in the house. You're there with training wheels, Nick Sirianni and his coaching staff. This is pretty impressive, guys. This is pretty impressive with all the things surrounding Jalen Hurts right now that he's – how about this? Is this fair to say? Jalen Hurts is starting to stabilize the franchise. Okay? Dion says the 16 receiver group for the Eagles was ranked last Carson's rookie year. Okay? Dion, I would say this to you. Are you suggesting that Jalen Hurts is on a better football team than what Carson Wentz was? His first year starting? I'll leave that to you guys. Who's on a better? That's a great question. I read you these numbers. Remember, I've been covering your team from about 30,000 feet. Now I'm looking it in the eye. First 14 games, who had the better team? Jalen Hurts or Carson Wentz? Who had the better group? Charles says Carson had a better team and better coaching. Monkey Mind Banana says Ertz in his prime. Forgot about Zach on the team. Jermaine says Hurts for sure has way more weapons. Watkins and Devontae Smith? Really rookies? Your group must have sucked. Jeff says definitely better coaching. Jeff, if we've learned anything and what you're watching in New England, coaching matters in the NFL, doesn't it? That's crazy. Thank you. Let me know when you have a better quarterback than last year. And people don't like that. It's like Eagle fans don't want their team to do good. Toxicity at its finest. I don't know how people don't root for their team. Okay? I'm not rooting for Carson Wentz. I'm not rooting against Jalen Hurts at all. Because if that guy wins, we all win. That means the team's winning. You know what it reminds me of? It's like people who root against the United States of America. You hate a guy on Pennsylvania Avenue, so you root against him. That's like rooting against your head football coach. You may not like that guy, but at the end of the day, guys, it's still the United States of America. You don't root against your coach. This is our country. Okay? Don't root against your coach. Just play for him. His ineptness will take care of it in the end. Or we'll be a better team in the end. This is about winning. Monkey Mind, oh my God, stop. Wentz had Ertz, Alshon Jeffries when he was good. Sanders in the backfield. Johnny Blaze of Madden. Yo, how you doing, brother? Jalen deserves another year to be the starter. No. Leo, we got to find out today. I don't want to. So you want to go through a 54-game evaluation like they are in Cleveland with Baker Mayfield? Not me. How about this? Guns is like this. Mac Jones is flying under the radar. Do you think they know they have their guy in New England after, 10 starts? I don't need a boatload of starts. He is, Leo, though. He is showing growth every single week. Absolutely. Hey, Ewing says, Sills, imagine Jalen Hurts in New England with Bill Belichick. Wow. Hakeem, how he looked at Kenny Pickett, it's the same thing he did to Wentz. It messes up the quarterback starting. Let me tell you something about him going to see Kenny Pickett. I'll take Kenny Pickett in the third round. I'm not wasting one of my top 10 picks on that dude. That's not happening. All right, listen. Our weekly visit with Jason Cole, I'm going to ask Jason this. The way the kid's playing, Jalen Hurts, the way Nick Sirianni's coaching, are the Eagles getting better? Are the Cowboys legitimate if they beat the Kansas City Chiefs this weekend? We'll talk to our NFL insider. By the way, do me a favor, guys. Please hit that like button. I so appreciate you guys coming aboard. We'll get right back to you. You keep it right here on the National Football Show.